Hey, I'm Odette Blacklock, creator of the Blacklock Method. This is one of my signature classes within the Blacklock Method called Prehab. Prehab is a class where we really want to either prevent injuries or if we've had injuries, how to rehabilitate them properly. Now I want to talk a little bit about my story because it really ties in with how the class came about and why it's so important to apply certain breathwork techniques and a certain focus throughout the class. So me and my story, well, many years ago, maybe 20 years ago, I fell into depression, anxiety, and this was after I had my son, so it was postnatal depression. And I thought to myself, how do I get out of this? And what did I like to do before my life kind of got this way? And I remember as a kid, I used to love little athletics. I used to love running, and I wasn't doing that anymore. So I started just jogging, maybe 100 meters, then the next day 200, then the next week going a little bit further. And that truly did start to give me that momentum to then want to fix my diet, then want to find out more about health science. So I enrolled in a fitness course, then I ended up doing my health science degree, master's in podiatric medicine. I got so good at running that I actually got a sponsorship and I won a trip to Death Valley with Under Armour. I came back and started writing programs, running programs for Virgin Active. Like, it actually changed the trajectory of my life, just making a decision to start running. But before I was meant to speak at Google about running, I slipped over and I broke my ankle. Now this is when things really went pear-shaped in my life, and I lost my identity. I lost all my income, most of my sponsors, and I started having panic attacks. My ankle also wasn't healing. I didn't have surgery, but also the healing process was taking much longer than expected. And this is because my nervous system was dysregulated. I was stuck in fight and flight. I was in that freeze response where I wasn't moving forward or backward, and I was having panic attacks. How did I get out of it? Well, I developed this program, Prehab, that rehabilitated my ankle, but also I had to go outdoors in nature. I felt a calling, bare feet, standing on the ground, breathing. So the breath work. When we're stuck in that freeze response, we're holding our breath. Then this leads to acidity in our blood, and we start to breathe more and more into our hyperventilating. So what we need to do is slow down, take an in breath, use the core muscles, use the diaphragm, it is a core muscle, and a really long, slow out breath to fully empty out the lungs. We need to slow everything down, stop the monkey mind, allow the tissues to relax, and then we can start making conscious change in our body. That's how we can get out of the stress response when we need to get out of it and get into the rest and repair response. So it took a few months, but my body started to come back into nice homeostasis again. The panic attacks stopped and my ankle started to heal because I was in rest and repair mode again. And so that story is the reason why behind Prehab and the Blacklock Method. And people remember stories. So if I just tell you, do this, it's not going to make that impact or have that impact on you to go, oh yes, I do need to breathe. Am I doing my long, slow out breath to harmonize my nervous system so that I can make conscious changes within my tissues? A lot of us are in our subconscious. We're not conscious of our movements. All day we're doing repetitive things, so we've got these patterns, and we get into dis-ease because we're bypassing good quality correct movement patterns. Good quality patterns start with breathing and using the diaphragm correctly. It is a deep core muscle. So that is the story behind the Blacklock Method. Oh, and I came back when they said I would never run again on my broken ankle the way that I used to. I actually came back and won a world title, lots of national titles for beach sprinting, for surf life saving. So that's a testament to the method in a physiological way, also balancing our life and coming back to feeling safe in the body. So in saying that, let's get to it. We are going to focus on unlocking the neck and the respiratory muscles first so that we can breathe deep into the diaphragm. Then we're going to head to the upper back, then deep into the hips, and then we'll call it a day for the Blacklock method and a little bit of prehab. So let's go into unlocking the neck muscles. You can either stand up if you don't want to sit down, okay? But all we're going to do is go from the back of the ear down to the collarbone, doing some little circles at that collarbone for our lymph. So remember, when it comes to the Blacklock method, we like to think about fluid flow. Pain usually comes from dehydrated muscles, which means, or fascia, which means they're not getting enough fluid flow. Without fluid and oxygen, oxygenated blood, things will die. And then it causes the body to say, hey, look over here, it's painful because we don't have enough fluid. We don't have enough oxygen-rich blood supplying life to this area. Okay, good. From here, you're placing your hands over your pec and you're pushing in and down, stretching the pec muscle, taking the head, looking up to the ceiling and opening and closing the jaw. So we pin down the muscle and then we go through range of motion. This is how the fascia gets or synthesizes more hyaluronic acid and collagen. Okay, so we can make those physiological changes. Good. Start to turn your head away and stretch diagonally from the hand to the jaw. Open and close. Stick the tongue out and breathe. Stretching the tongue because it's part of the deep core and the esophagus. Good. Slowly bring your head back to start position. Half circle the head to integrate the new movement. Half circle the head back. So our alignment with our spine, right, starts with our head stacking on top of a neutral rib cage and lumbar spine. So if our head is forward, we're already out of postural alignment. This is why it's important. So other side. I always like to give a reason why. I talk so much in my classes, but something always lands with people and then they think, yes, this is why I need to apply it. It's not just random exercises. I've put them together for a reason because being seated all day causes so many postural issues. Being on our phones all day causes so many postural issues and leading to poor mechanics. We can't really put a barbell on our back if our spine's out of alignment. We're just going to get an injury. Pushing in on the pec, pushing down, head comes back, open and close the jaw. Ah. Good, and looking away, open and close the jaw. And stick out that tongue. Nice big stretch. So a lot of us will hold tension in the jaw, right? We're just unconsciously tension in the jaw, clenching our jaw. Relax it, open it up. Allow that head to move. We need good head movement so that we can see if the saber-toothed tiger is there, so we can feel safe in our body, so we can respond to the outside world well. Okay, so we've done the neck. Now let's go to the upper back. Keep working. Okay, so with our upper back, we lie over and drape our shoulders over that roller. I bring my hands behind my head to cradle my neck and support my neck. I'm going to go into extension of the spine as I drape my body back. I open up the elbows as wide as possible to stretch my chest, squeezing shoulder blades together. Take a big breath in. And in again. It's that double inhale and out. And feel that stretch deepen. Good. Flexing forward, looking through the knees and breath in. I'm breathing into the roller. In again and out. Good. Feet come nice and wide and my knees drop to my right side or your left, it doesn't matter. Okay, and then I am rolling over my lats. So I'm bringing my elbows together and apart, just my elbows, rolling over the shoulder blade and your armpit. And if this is too much, just pause and hold and breathe. But if you can keep going and you're not holding the breath, you're not feeling restricted elsewhere, keep rolling across the shoulder blade and the armpit, and just double in and out. And then we just change sides. So continue, the knees drop towards the floor. Make sure the feet are not too close together. They're wide apart, so you're getting that release in the hip, the rotation through the T-spine, your thoracic spine. If the roller is slipping out, just push yourself a little further back. And breathe one more time. Excellent work. All right, so from here, I'm going to bring that roller underneath your knees, lie back down on your back, and take the roller underneath your hips. Now this one feels fantastic. It's actually really quite enjoyable to use gravity as an aid. Now, again, if you have any issues with blood pressure, avoid this one, but otherwise follow along. The knees come towards chest and we're stretching the low back here. Good. And then you're going to kick the legs back behind the head, point and flex the toes. Ankle is working, and you're going to feel that stretch down the back of the leg. Nice. Let's scissor the legs. So flex at the ankle, scissor the legs. Try and keep that knee straight and get that passive stretch from gravity as you kick. Remember to tuck the tailbone slightly, pull the belly button to spine, and breathe. Good. Point the toes for a few reps and see how the different positions of the foot affect the fascia. So that muscle group, right, all the way up from the foot to the hip. Good. Taking this out to the sides of the body. So I'll start with a bent knee, circling out and down. I want you to keep the tuck in the tailbone though, and the abs pulling in. So control the lower back position. If you can, circle out to hip line. And if you want to add in some coordination here, you're going to scissor and circle in opposite directions. Oh, this one feels great for the groin. And I'm going to flex my feet for a few reps, invert the foot for a few reps, which means my arch is pulling in, and then evert the foot and feel the difference, how your foot position affects everything in the hip. Nice. Good. And then we're going to stretch our hip flexor. This is a great way to get into the hip flexor. Hip flexor attaches into the lower back, coming out through to the front of the hip. So what I want to do is keep that tuck of the tailbone, stretch the leg really long, squeeze the same glute, so activate the back to stretch the front, right? Pull the shoulders back and down, pull the belly button in, double breath into your hip. So in again, and exhale and keep stretching longer. Feel that leg just stretch a little longer. Let's do the opposite side. Tuck the tailbone, belly button to spine, shoulder blades back and down. Squeeze the glute. Lots of little tips there. And breath in, and breath out, and keep lengthening. Good. Keep that squeeze of the glute though, okay? All right. Nice work, guys. Let's just cycle the legs. It feels good to finish. Integrate all of that movement. I'm cycling. I'm keeping the belly button to spine. Good. And 3. Breathing. 2 and 1. Nice work. Let's take that roller out. So we will finish up by integrating that new movement in the hips, and then we'll be done for today. So always release, but then integrate to strong, healthy movements. So all fours position, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. I'm going to kick my right leg straight out to the side for that groin stretch. Good. My right arm comes up to ceiling, and I reach through for a thread the needle, not needle. And it's multi-joint stretching. So I'm stretching from my foot and I'm twisting all the way out to my hand. And when I extend, I'll just show you, as you reach through, make sure you open up that elbow, okay? So you really reach through and get a nice big stretch here through all of the muscle groups. Good. Opposite side, open and reach. And open, and reach, and open. One more. Good. Bring your hands underneath those shoulders. Find your neutral pelvis now. Okay, find your shoulder blade position, chin slightly tucked. Circles with the right leg. So you're trying to keep the hips pretty level. So try not to go too high up with those hips. Keep them engaged, the core engaged as you circle that knee. Other side, 5, 4, 3. Strength within those hips. And 1. Good. And we're reaching right arm, left leg. And just try and hold. So shoulders are level, hips are level. If you feel one side lifting, just pop that hip down a little lower, reach that arm out and pull the belly button to spine. Breathing in and breathing out. One more. Stabilize and return. Other side. Training the deep core, training the diaphragm. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And good. Bring it all back. Nice. Down dog to bring ourselves back up. So my hips are high, my heels are low. I'm marching my heels up and down. As I march my heels, I slightly push my toes down. I grab the floor a little to lift the heel. So bringing in that functional awareness of how the toes and Achilles work together. And then I start to walk those feet in. Touching those toes there. Find your foot tripod, center of the heel, pinky toe, and base of the big toe. Feel balanced over those points. Start to roll up, knees are soft. Finding neutral pelvis, pubic bone and hips aligned. Stack the spine, reach up. Interlace and press the palms. Good, bringing your hands back down. One hand over the belly, one hand over your heart. And with the Blacklock method, it is about connecting the outside world to your inside world. We want to be able to sense the ground. We want to be able to see the horizon. We want to be able to hear if anything is going on so that we can respond to that sensory external world. Sometimes we need to flee, fawn, fight, but a lot of times we need to rest and digest and calm our body down. So if the alarms are going off in the outside world and the alarms are going off in the inside world, how can we consciously dial it down and return to a rest and digest parasympathetic state? Tune into your pulse. Tune into your heart rate. That interoception. Pulse, gut instincts, intuition. Tune in. Movement of our diaphragm and our breath in the body. Tune in. So tune into these things. What does your gut say at the moment? How do you feel inside? What does your pulse feel like? And the movement of that diaphragm. Long, slow out breath. Pause. And then breathe in. Finish with a body scan. The breath comes in through the nose. The life force, the energy, makes its way down the chest to the abdomen, down the legs, the soles of the feet, back up toward the spine, down the arms, and then into the crown of the head, making its way all the way out through the nose. Take this awareness with you and bring conscious change to your life through healthy movement patterns Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you in the next one.